Hi, I'm Jenny Miller of Let's Get Sewing. Are you ready to take the fear and frustration out of your sewing experience and finally get sewing? Then you're in the right place. Be sure to click subscribe so you don't miss any of my tips and tutorials. And check out the caption too. There's a link to my website where you can find out more about my course, Conquer Your Sewing Machine, and future courses that I have coming. And now, let's get sewing. Hi, we're going a little bit casual today because I'm going to talk about some exercises that you can do to keep yourself safe and pain-free when you're sewing. Now, don't worry, these are not going to be complicated exercises. I mean, look at me, I'm not a fitness expert by any means, but I am passionate about keeping yourself healthy and free from injury when it comes to sewing. I actually have a friend who has a sewing business who last year had to have rotator cuff surgery because she injured her rotator cuff from too much repetitive motion sewing. And we definitely do not want that to happen. So let's talk about some ways that we can try and prevent it. Let me show you a couple of very simple but very effective stretches. These stretches come courtesy of Karen Sullivan, who also sews. She's not the one that had the rotator injury cuff, but you can find her on social media as Sully's Upcycled, and she makes the most darling things out of upcycled materials. She is a fitness instructor, and so she gave me a few of these hints to share with you. Let's take a look. Let's talk first about the fact that we are sitting all the time when we are sewing. And so we need to counteract this posture with some stretches that will allow us to get back into a proper posture. So the first one I want to show you, you're going to move to the edge of your chair, put your feet flat on the ground. You're going to put your hand and brace yourself on your chair, and then reach up and over slightly and stretch out all of your muscles along this side of your body. Hold that for about a count of 10, and then come back and do the same on the other side. You're supporting yourself with this bottom hand and stretching with the top hand. Once you do that for about 5 reps on either side, 10 would be optimal, you're going to start to feel those muscles in here release and relax. So let's move on to another stretch. Because sewing involves so much hunching this direction, and we want to counteract it, this next stretch is really going to help with that. You're going to put your hands into fists and bring the fists together in front of you with the elbows and your arms parallel to the floor. Then stretch back and forward, back and forward. And you could do 3 sets of those to get the optimal stretch in the front and work out in your back muscles. This next one involves using the back of a chair or a table that is about waist height or hip height. You're going to place both hands on the back of the chair and step back a good step so that you're well behind the chair. Then fold forward at the hips. Don't bend your back. Keep your back straight and fold at the hips and bring yourself down to your chair, keeping your legs and your back straight, and just relax into the stretch. These next 2 stretches, we're sitting down again towards the edge of our seat, and we just want to stretch out our neck, which has been looking down at our sewing all day. And so we're going to gently let our ear fall towards our shoulder and stretch the muscles on this side of the neck. Keep your hands placed on your knees and just relax that muscle. Then do the same on the other side. That will release a lot of the tension in our shoulders from sewing all day. It's not just sitting that can create problems when we're sewing. The repetitive use of our hands can also cause pain and injury in our hands and wrists. So here's a few things we can do for that. For the first stretch, we're going to put our hands in a praying position and put our elbows out to the side. You'll feel a stretch down in here and up through your hands. So we're going to put it in that position and then turn it downwards. And we're going to alternate back and forth about 10 times in each direction again. When you turn your hands down this way, you're going to feel the stretch shift into the side of your arms and through your wrists. You're also going to feel it up in here. So continue to alternate up and down. Next, we're going to work our fingers. So we're going to put our hand out in a number 5, and we are just going to alternate touching our fingers to our thumb back and forth like this. This is going to use some of the other muscles in our hand, or use muscles in our hand a different way to reprogram them and allow them to stretch out and reset. Finally, we're going to put our hand out in front of us and turn our hand out to the side like this, putting our thumb up. Then gently take hold of your thumb and very gently pull back on it to feel the stretch through our hands and through the bottom of our arm. Hold that for a few seconds and then repeat it with your other hand. Turn the hand out this way, raise your thumb, and pull back gently on that thumb to feel the stretch through your hand and bottom of your arm. Probably the most difficult thing about all of this is remembering to stop and take time to do these stretches. So if necessary, set a reminder on your phone when you sit down to sew, and maybe get up every 10 to 15 minutes, stretch, move around, reset, and then go back to work. Sewing should be a fun, enjoyable experience, and it should be relaxing, but the very act itself is not always so relaxing. So remember to take care of your body and keep it relaxed. Thank you for joining me today. My goal is to take the frustration out of your sewing experience, and so I hope my tips are helpful. Feel free to comment with any questions or ideas you may have. I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. Now, let's get sewing.